Welcome to FurMedia, where we provide a voice and social connection with furries from around the world. My name is Space, and I'm joined by my awesome host,
Punya.
and we welcome you to our show this evening. How is everyone doing tonight? How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantabulous.
Yeah, did someone have a birthday yesterday?
I did.
What did you get any good presents? Or does no one do
Um,
presents anymore?
I don't really do presents anymore, but I got a nice little extra bonus from work. I got a birthday bonus, and
Ooh.
I got a couple other little things. But
I gotta say I'm a little jelly.
you are.
Do you know what I get for my birthday at work? A $5 gift card, which barely covers lunch. I'm just like, oh, thanks, guys. I got a letter in the mail that's pre-signed by a printer with ink. Thank you for that special attention there.
Well, I don't work for a corporation or anything, so
Aww. Aww.
I don't have to go through all that red tape.
So you're better than me?
I can talk right to the CEO anytime I want.
Oh. Oh. Oh, look, everyone's saying happy birthday to you.
I know, everybody's so sweet.
You guys are so nice. You should go spam her Facebook. No, her for affinity wall with happy birthdays.
Even though it was yesterday.
Yeah, even though it was yesterday, you should still go spam it. It's really not that hard. Go to our FA page and click on the icon that's right next to mine, and then just spam her wall like nobody's business.
See, now everybody's going to see this and they're going to get confused and think today is my birthday.
It's okay. We'll celebrate it today.
I actually get two.
Every time someone watches this video on YouTube, they're gonna think it's your birthday. How
I get
amazing!
two. I get two birthdays because my mom was in labor for over 24 hours.
Oh, that sounds painful.
I'm joking.
Oh my god! Good,
I just
good
needed an
heavens!
excuse.
Oh, gosh. Well, today we do have a featured artist for you guys. Michael Chandler suggested an artist for us, and so I thought I'd check him out. They've been suggesting it a few times, and I'm like, all right, well, I have an open spot where I don't really have anyone I can feature this week, so we'll just go with that. And this one is, I gotta find it real quick. Pull it over here. It is Momentum 567. Such a classic name. And there's a couple ones I want to show here. Well, actually, here, you know what? Let me pop this cool little link into chat here. There you go. And the first one, it kind of looks, I want to say it's done by chalk or pastel of some sorts. I really cannot be honest, or sure, I don't know what it's. They don't ever really explain what exactly this is. But it looks really pretty. It looks like two dragons, a pink and a blue, and I like the way that it was not exaggerated, but the detail of it. It's what do you call it? Original artwork or traditional artwork? That's the word.
Traditional.
Traditional, yes. And that's
Looks like a tattoo.
yeah, it might be. This was a cool one too. I was looking at this one.
I used to draw stuff like this all the time in high school.
What, like skulls on the back?
No, like dragons everywhere. Just dragons and crazy creatures.
Dragons are cool. Let's see. They have another one. They have some sketches. Here we go. This is called Broken Loose. So very, very traditional looking artwork. It's quite cool looking, honestly. And this is not even on FA. This is DA. So and I rarely go into DA. So to see some stuff like this is pretty cool. Hey, look. You can never get enough Toothless in this world.
I love Toothless.
Toothless is cute. Yeah, Sazam says it might be oil pastels and colored pencil. So it looks like this one looks like it was colored pencil. But anything though, like it's always good. I'm just gonna pop their actual link here into chat, and all I'm just saying is, if you have a DA, go and follow the person, check them out, see what their artwork's like. If you like it, follow them. If you don't, you don't have to. It's just, I like to think it's common courtesy. unless you don't like it. But that's all I have for a featured artist. Unless, do we have any news or anything?
Nothing I can think of offhand.
Oh, Elliot's Spring Gathering is this weekend in Las Vegas. So if you guys are going, go there. But be safe, drink safe. If you're underage, don't drink at all. And have fun. Roaming the streets and scaring the tourist people. Because that's the best part.
I'm gonna make those people's days.
Yeah, that would be awesome. But tonight's show is about creating.
Ew, who's
what?
that?
Ew, what is this? What is this here? Oh, that's you. This cute little weight is chubby. There's no weight there. It just says chubby.
She's chubby. She's no age either.
Well, young adult. I love it. Tonight we're talking about creating original fursonas, or characters, however you want to call it. This is a great show to listen to if you're just getting started in the fandom. You don't really know how to create a character. I've had friends that come up to me and say, "Oh, I'm not a furry, but what would I be?" And I'm like, "I don't know. That's not for me to decide. That's for you to decide what you want to be." Or maybe you're just kind of bored of your fursona. You want to create a new one, but you don't really know where to start. Well, we're going to go over that today and help you out. So, take it away.
I will.
Yeah, you better.
What if I just hung up?
I would call you a rude blank. I would go, "You rude beep." And then I'd call you a turd Ferguson. So, there you go.
Thank you for my nom de plume. Okay.
Such a peach.
So, shush. Creating original characters or fursonas, whichever you prefer to call them. Well, obviously, since or most of us are all in the furry fandom, our first focus is going to be animals. So the first thing you need to figure out is what kind of animals do you like? And as you're researching and brainstorming and going through your favorites, there's two things that you really want to remember. You want to put a lot of thought into this because you don't want to choose an animal or creature that you're going to get tired of really quickly, or maybe even later on down the road. Say you've established, well, I'm saying, like, say you've established some kind of presence, and then all of a sudden you get sick of your character, but everybody else loves it, and then you change. It's kind of, ultimately it's still your decision, but I don't know. I don't want to say it's rude. It's just it's unexpected. It's an unexpected surprise, and the people that have gotten to know you're just kind of like, oh.
Ew.
Oh.
I feel a lot of people choose like the more popular ones, like foxes or dogs, or I'm a tiger, and it's like, could you not be any more less original? I'm not saying it's not like it's everyone's choosing to be a fox. It just seems to be the most popular choice. I'm gonna be a fox.
It's an easy go-to.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about certain things too, but the second thing that you guys should also keep in mind is to pick an animal or creature that you are happy with. Don't pick something that everybody else is making you choose or that everybody else loves, because then you're not doing it for yourself. You're just creating another character for somebody else. And that's what it's not supposed to be about. So what exactly do we pick here? Well, the easiest place to start is real animal species. So that covers mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, fish, and invertebrates. This also covers dinosaurs, prehistoric mammals, and other prehistoric reptiles and birds and such, as I aforementioned. And there are also recently extinct animals. And by recently, I mean from like
5 years ago?
Post Ice Age on. So like roughly within that time frame.
That is not recent. That is so long ago.
Then to current. I mean, because well, since then there, I mean, there's been extinctions, within the past year, within the past 10 years, 100 years, 150 years, and so on. Um, I don't know exactly what to call that gap, but now that I think about it, I don't really see a whole lot of fursonas based off of those. Um, I have seen thylacines or Tasmanian tigers,
Ooh.
but like, how many dodo birds do you see? How many moas do you see?
That's because no one wants to be a dodo bird.
Dodos would be so cool.
I couldn't just do a dodo bird. I'd have to like hybrid it somehow. Like a dodo bird, and I'm looking at it, a dodo bird shark. Or something. I don't know.
They
Something
look
so
like
ridiculous.
they just look like the softest bird. They look so plush and fluffy. Okay. So yes, real animal species. And of course, once you pick one, you can delve even further into breeds and color variations and such. It's fun to play with um, actual mutations like melanism or albinoism in animals is can be a pretty cool thing too.
Or not.
Or not. I mean, I toyed around with the idea of creating, albino character before.
What if you took a real animal and combined it with an animal that doesn't exist? Or something like, let's take a red panda and combine it with the abominable snowman.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Okay.
We're getting there.
It would be the abominable panda.
There you go.
That'd be
So,
freaky.
well, let's say you've looked through every single animal in history's dictionary and you just don't find something you like. You can always go to fantasy species. This covers all your dragons, your griffins, all beasts, unicorns, pegasi, um,
Ooh, you forgot
everything else,
one.
what have you. Yes, what did I forget?
An original species that wasn't popular until someone brought it to light, angel dragons. Angel dragons was a complete, from what I understand, as Telephone created the angel dragon. From there on out, it just spawned.
Would you like to host the show? Because I do have that in a bulleted point for the
Where?
list.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the notes. I don't see where it is, but I'm sure it's there.
Once again, space is on top of everything.
Space is out. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll shut up. I'll just chat with people in the chat. How about that?
Ba-da-da-da-da-da, space. Okay, so yes, our fantasy species. There are lots of dragons in the fandom, and there are lots of griffins. Um, and now that I think about it, there are lots of werewolves. I have not seen too many unicorns, though. I have, but not as often. Um,
Twilight Sparkle.
yes. So you've looked through all these, you're still not happy. Um, let's look into the fandom itself. The furry fandom has created its own species, or races of species. um, this includes Sergals, either created or adopted, I should say. This is Sergals, Citras, Chocats, Cruxes, and angel dragons.
What the heck? Where? I don't see angel dragons. I don't.
I just I just added
You.
it.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
But I did have a furry fandom species part. So
Mm-hmm.
so yes, even within our own fandom, we have created our own species specifically for the fandom. Um Next, we have established fandom species. This is going to be any other race or creature that you're going to find in a pre-existing show or movie or comic series, such and such. Um, so Pokemon, My Little Pony, Final Fantasy has a lot of its own species. There's Chocobos, Moogles, Moombas. Red 13's characters, uh, character species. There's the Sonic universe, pretty much Disney anything. A lot of people will adopt, not the characters, but whatever they happen to be, adopt that race or species and create their own characters based off of it. And then there are also hybrids. Now, there are real hybrids and your own, the ones that you just create on your own. So, real hybrids would cover ligers, tigons, growler bears, which we talked about last show briefly, um, zonkies, savanna cats. Um, if you type it in Google, just real animal hybrids, I mean, you'll come up with a huge list of them. And there's some really pretty awesome ones. I have seen a few ligers and tigons, but as for everything else,
I thought ligers were fake because because of Napoleon Dynamite. I thought he was just joking.
no, no, they're real.
Oh, crap.
It's I can't remember which is which, but one is a male lion mating with a female tiger, and the other is a male tiger with a female lion. But I'm not sure which one is which.
Despite chat, I just want to let you know that I am paying attention, despite what they're saying.
That's fine. I'm not even looking at chat right now.
Good. Trying to narc.
Okay.
They're trying to narc on me.
Ooh, I'm telling. So you, not just within our own animal kingdom, but there's just a huge expanse of things that you can choose from, and it does potentially take a lot of time before you do actually decide on something that you want. Unless you're that rare case and you're like, mole rat, I'm gonna be a mole rat.
Hmm.
Hmm. You should be a mole rat.
No. Well, no.
You can be a molar bear.
Oh my god, no. That would be like the ugliest combination. A mole rat and a bear?
You're just a polar bear with no fur.
Oh, that would be like tragic vet stories right there.
And you have to wear really awesome sweaters to stay warm.
I can do that. I can
See?
easily do that, yeah.
See, it's not so bad now.
No, not that you put sweaters in there.
I just realized our conversation was exactly what we're talking about.
What? That's
We
what
we just we just made a character.
Oh, look at that! Unintentionally, we made a character right there. That was pretty easy. I think at that
No,
given moment, I actually was not paying attention until you mentioned it.
there you go, folks. Bonus tip: if you're having trouble coming up with a character, brainstorm with your friends. You can start throwing stuff around, and boom, there you go.
Dun dun dun. A molar bear.
Okay, so
What kind of noise would
next
he make?
thing we're going to talk about is you have you know what type of animal you want to be. You're all set with that. What exactly do you want it to look like? So, we are going to talk a little bit about color. So, the first thing that comes to mind usually is, do you want to go with your animal's natural color or do something fun and crazy? Um, the things I'm going to go over um, doesn't cover all the creature choices, um, as any colors may be chosen for some. Um, but we have 4 points that I want to cover. There we go.
Ha! Ha! You messed
Um,
up.
so we're gonna go over shush. We're gonna go over two of each. So we've got natural pros and cons and unnatural pros and cons, and this is regarding for color and markings on your character. So let's just go with, I don't know, standard wolf. You pick a wolf and you decide that you want to use its natural coloration. Um, One thing that's good about that is that people are going to be more apt to recognize what species you are. Um, there are some really awesome suits out there that look really cool in crazy colors, but I honestly have no idea what it is. It's kind of a dog shape, but that's the extent of my knowledge. So, something you just want to be wary of. Um, it is also potentially less expensive when purchasing a suit. Um, of course, I want to stress potentially because you do have, depending on what you choose, say like a red fox would be easy compared to, say like the natural markings of a snow leopard. There would either be lots of little intricate sewing or lots of airbrushing going on, um, which does get pricey in suits and such. Um, not so much to worry about as artwork. Um, there are some cons though that go along with that. One, I'm going to be brutally honest, it can be boring. I have actually gone through several bouts where I have just wanted to rework Punya and make her colors more interesting. But the more I thought about it, the more I was like, no, I kind of like her just the way she
I think you
is,
should change it.
even though I don't want to. Like I've gone through
But you just said it yourself. It can
ideas
be
for
boring. Your
changes.
colors.
Yeah, it can. But you know what? I turn that around by making her interesting in other ways. And I've accepted the fact that, and I kind of like the fact that Punya is just kind of plain and ordinary and unassuming, and she's just kind of there. But she's got this crazy personality that kind of makes up for it. The other con is that there's also the possibility that you might be confused for somebody else, especially if that somebody else has a natural looking character similar to yours. You're a fox. Well, you're a fox.
Mm-hmm. I'm a gray fox. Yeah, but you look like that gray fox. Put some color into there. Do something different. I just realized my boyfriend's a gray fox. That was a horrible. It's a horrible example. Shoot.
You're just downward spiraling tonight.
Not doing good over here, folks. Help me. Why don't you just keep going and I'll chime in some other point in time.
Okay, so I'll try to pull you out here. All right, so now we're going to jump into the unnatural colors. This is all your neon, technicolor, furry dream coat craziness. Um, so let's go. Let's see. Let's start with the cons on this one. No, let's just go to the pros. I'll keep it in order. So pros for crazy colors. Big one. You are more likely going to stand out.
Like me.
Lots of bright colors and intricate patterns and things that are not usually seen in other people's characters or in suits or within the fandom are going to catch a lot of attention. Um, the second thing is that you have endless design possibility. You be any color you want. You can end your markings anywhere. You can. I would love to see a patterned fursuit. Like I would love to see
Like zigzag? No, everyone does zigzags.
like, plaid.
Oh, you
I
know how
would
cool it'd be?
literally see a platypus.
Picnic
That's what I
table
want.
plaid. That would be right there. Then if they were picnic table plaid, they can get on all fours, and then we could use them as a picnic table. Right? No? Does no one get that? Okay. It was just it was sounded good in my head.
Okay. And also, people, I just want to make a point here that if I've said something and now all of a sudden you feel like your character is subpar, please do not think that.
No.
No, these are just suggestions. These are not firm set in stone. Um, and I think you've all seen our show enough to know that we are not out to do any harm to anybody. Um, but I just wanted to get that point across. I mean,
I mean, think about it. Like, even if you're thinking that maybe your fursona is just generic, you have like all the time in the world to change it. It's not like you have to do it right now, and don't feel like, like you said, we're picking on you or anything. We're just kind of throwing out the suggestions and kind of getting your brain thinking like, "Oh, I never thought that I could do this."
Yeah. We want you thinking outside the box. And think of it this way too. If nobody has said anything like that to you, now you have a way to kind of work around it, you know? If somebody says, "Oh, your character's too boring," you don't have to listen to them because it's just one person. Or if that prompts you to change it, now you have some options that you can go over.
Yes.
Like I said, I tried it with Punya, but it just didn't work for me. Okay, so um, unnatural fur coloring, the cons. Depending on how wild your colors and patterning are, the cost to have your character made into a suit can be very expensive. I know a lot of crazy colored furs. To get one just right can be really hard to come by, and the material and the particular color itself can really run up the price per yard, which means fursuiters are going to have to charge a little more. So just something to keep in mind. The second thing is that like I mentioned before, people may not be able to recognize what species you are. If that's not something that's important to you, nothing to worry about, but still something to consider um, if you are considering turning your character into a fursuit. Okay, so we've got our colors down. What are we going to call ourselves?
Shall I pull up the link?
Yes.
Yes, master.
Uh,
Okay, let's see. Which one do you want? Parenthood?
Hold on. We're not gonna go there quite yet.
Ah. Okay.
Wait.
I'm waiting for you to.
Oh, yeah, go ahead and pull up. That should be fine. Okay, so you want to pick a name for your character, but you really don't know what you want. One thing, this is what I usually do. This is kind of my method of how I pick names for characters and such. And this is how I came up with Punya's name. Research whatever animal or creature or species that you've decided to make your fursona of, and pick an attribute from them that you can use as a name. Let's see. Say your character is predominantly red in color. There's different shades of red. All of them have different names that could be used as names. For example, there's rose, crimson, ruby, scarlet, rusty are all great choices that you can choose. Um, you can also think of things. We're going to stick with the red theme here, but you can also think of things that color that are that. You can think of things that are that color. There we go. Or things that are represented by that color. So sticking with red, there's fire, love, blood, Mars, anger, flowers, stones, gems, and on and on and on.
I didn't even think about this. You could use thesaurus.com for all this.
I love thesaurus.
I'll tell you what, like when it comes to like
I have it bookmarked.
so do I, because I'll use it and be like, "Oh, what's another way of calling this name?" Or I'll use it for FurMedia a lot, and I'll just be like, and I'll go to thesaurus.com and I'll type in something, and it'll bring up like 30 somewhat like words of the word I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm. It's perfect. It's a great
tool. It totally is. It's so simple, but it works. I'll pull this up so they can see it.
Okay.
There we go.
Another thing that you could do is try looking up the names of colors. If you find a color or a flower or something that you like, look it up and see what it is in another language. Red, for instance, in Spanish is rojo. In I believe it's Hebrew is Adam. Gaelic is rude. Japanese is aka. So yeah, you do have a lot of options. When I was coming up with Punya's name, um, actually, I'm going to read this to you guys first, since the name story follows it up. Um, Another thing that you could do um, is go into more of the origin of your character. Look up names from the country where your character species is native to. You can also look up names for things and places that are found there. So, like plants, rivers, mountain ranges, things like that. You can also look up the name of what other countries call your species. So, when I was trying to figure out a name for Punya, I have a thing where I really want my character's name to be associated to them in some kind of personal way, um, or literal way, or ironic. Um,
Oh, I like irony.
I love irony, which
So
is I'm going to address that with another character in a second.
good.
Um,
Do you want me to pull up
so
pictures? Do I need to pull up pictures?
they all know what Punya looks like.
Um,
um, so I looked up a bunch of other names for red pandas, and Punya was one of them. So I looked up Punya separately, and I found out that it is based off of a Nepalese root word for panda, which literally translates to eater of bamboo. And same thing with her last name, Wa. Wa is another name for red pandas.
wow.
And they're sometimes called Was, based off of a noise that they make. Um, so if I had to come up with the meaning for Punya's name, Punyawa translates to eater of bamboo red panda.
Wow, what a great translation there. I would want a translation that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Like, eater of dirt and socks.
Mm. Stealer of left socks. I also,
Wow.
if you want to pull up Raziel's picture there real quick, I can talk a little about him. Um, Raziel is a character, a Tasmanian devil character that I have, and I wanted his name to be ironic in relation to his species. So, as I mentioned, Tasmanian devil. So I started to look up biblical names, and Raziel is an angelic name found in the Bible. So he's a devil with an angel name.
That's quite interesting. That works.
Yeah, so just like little twists and things like that, I like to put into my characters. Let's see. The last thing my mouth just wants to fall off my face tonight. Um, the last thing that we're going to cover in this section are attributes. Um, you can look up the characteristics of the species you choose and try to think of a name based off of them. So let's say you have a rabbit or a cheetah for a character, something that moves really fast. Some names that you could consider are swift, dart, or fleet. Are they stealthy? There's bandit, sly, or shadow. Do they like water? Cove, mist, brine. I actually have a character named Brine.
Like, as in, like a brine solution?
Brine?
Yeah. Like,
Briny water is like salty, foamy water.
yeah, it's gross
Like,
water.
yeah, I don't like briny water. I'll wade in briny water. But like, I have a fake Pokemon team, and one of them is a war turtle, and her name is Brine.
Oh,
Because she's a water Pokemon.
how sweet. With such a lovely name.
Well, let's say you have a character that flies. There's Gale, Flurry, Zephyr.
Can I just call her Gale Force?
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, Gale
Gale,
Force,
Flurry, Zephyr.
wind! No.
She just turns around, what? And you fly away. Okay.
That would be mean.
You can go ahead and pull up Parenthood if you want there.
Oh, okay. Parenthood.
Parenthood. You
Good for
guys
more
didn't
than
think we
just
were coming here.
better. Good for more than just humans.
Parenthood for furries.
There we go.
So why are we going to parenthood.com? Let me tell
Gender.
you. They have a really good baby name generator.
Give me a name.
Um, Russell.
Ruffle.
Russell.
Russell. Okay. Okay. Russell. Search. Your search did not return any results. Did I do that right?
Try a EL.
Go. Russell. Let me go back home. Which area am I
Go
supposed to...
home, Russell.
I'm trying to. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get this to work. Baby names. The baby names quick search. How do I do this?
Why don't you just hit back?
I did. I'm back.
I'm pretty sure it's EL. RUSSEL.
There we go. Oh, hey, look. It pulls up 2 Russells. Origin is English. Gender is male. We get forms. And look, I can get more info here. Let's go with the first one. Meaning of Russell is forms of Rufus, red-haired. Who'd have thought?
So there you go. If you, it's another link that you could put with our whole red theme again.
Oh, look, I can click on... Okay, so I'm just going to click on names like Latin. I can go with Latin names here.
Hmm. Okay. You go ahead and play around with that. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about it.
I will.
So in their name generator, you can type in the actual name, and it'll come up with the origin of the name and the meaning, as well as any variations. You can also type in a particular word, and it will pull up any and all names it can associate with that word. So let's, I don't know, somebody give me a word
Yeah, give me a word.
that will possibly be in a name.
Cow.
Cow.
So lovely.
And there are some.
Wow. Here we go. We got Adwer, Oddhumbla, Burley, Bofend, Boyne, Para, Rada, Wrangle, Vachel. We'll say Vachel. That sounds better. Oh, I'm gonna say the name. Don't say it out loud, but see if you can figure out what I'm thinking, knowing my mind. Felodius. I thought of something different. I won't say what.
Oh my. It's clearly just a cow herd.
Yeah, that's what it says. I'm sorry. Let's try
time
another
I-
name.
Next time I drive past a farm and there's a bunch of cows, I'm going to say, look at that Felodius.
Felodius is great.
So yeah, you can type in a word and look it up that way. Or you can search by letter, either beginning with or ending with. And I think you can search by origin as well, or by
Loyal.
country.
Loyal was
Um,
another one.
This is just one site that I use a lot to look up names. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of baby name sites, maybe even millions. I don't know. It's the internet. It's huge. That you can use. There's also fantasy name generators. So
Dang.
say like you want a name based off of the Elven language from Middle Earth. You can look up a name generator there and type in a descriptive word or search by letter and come up with one that way.
Why didn't I know about any of these when I was trying to create Space's name?
I don't know. I just thought to myself, where can I find names?
Fantasy name generators. I just typed in like into Google. Can I just find one that looks simple? Here we go. Watch this. Bam. Fantasy name generators. Select the desired name, type, and length. So we'll say barbarian names. Long. Generate. Oh my god. So if that's the way you want to go, we got Cromalagrandivore or Collect Attack Attack a Chop.
Jeez, I'd be dead before I could even scream
Oh
your name.
my god! Right, here we go. Utar Giacrom Drarg.
Why don't you copy and paste it in the chat so everybody can try to say it?
Yeah. Okay, that's a good one. Good luck. Try practicing this word.
We're gonna practice our barbarian.
And where's the other one? Here's the other one. The Kalekachop. or this one. There you go. Try saying those words on the other side of the computer.
I like collect.
Let's do one more. Let's do one more.
Okay, do it.
Okay, I'll just name these off so you just choose. We got human, elf name, dwarf name, hobbit, barbarian, orc, evil, Asian names. Oh my god, that'd be so hard. Arabic, fantasy surnames, science fiction, Lovecraftian names, reptile names, Aztec, Ratman. What the heck is a Ratman? Demon, dragon, mixed names, English, fantasy, military, superhero.
And people are telling you to do an Asian name.
Oh god, this would be so hard. Long.
And evil. They want to hear an evil name.
Oh my god, this is Mo Kung Choyang, Yao Huan Shalin, Baktio Mofi, Wen Shushata. That's just ridiculous.
Do an evil one.
Okay, we'll do an evil one. Evil names. We'll do this one, and then we'll move on. Darko Se Migash.
I like how evil is in quotes.
Oh yeah. Here you go. Try saying this one out loud. We got Harove. Oh my god. Share Gulf Dragdran. Warg Anonius. And then Moran for us for Rorn.
I feel like I'm back in EverQuest.
I feel like I'm back in World of Warcraft. For the Horde!
Same thing, different nerds.
Yeah. Gosh. So yeah, you could do that.
Okay. So there you go. You guys, seriously, just have fun with the whole name hunt thing. It can be just as much as of an adventure as coming up with the character itself. So the last thing we're going to cover is personality. This is what's really going to make your character, I guess, pretty much shine. So let's see. Before I start, there's something I want to go over here real quick. Most fursonas are seen as a representation of ourselves. This representation can be direct, indirect, or exaggerated. Direct means that your personality doesn't really change as you become your character or when you present your character. Indirect means that the personality of your character is not the same person as you perceive yourself as. It's a completely opposite side of the coin. And lastly, exaggerated means you and your character have a similar personality, but some areas may be further expanded on. That is kind of where I see myself with Punya. Is that she is very much like me, but there are certain points that I stretch out a little more. Like I am nowhere near as flighty and naive as I perceive Punya to be. I'm sure I've had my moments, but she's very just simple-minded and in the now. She doesn't worry about big things or things that have happened or world catastrophes or things. She's just kind of floating on by. Whereas I'm just a big ball of stress.
Big ball of stress.
Do do ba do. I'm a stress ball. I just need people to come up and squeeze me.
I'm gonna bite my tongue on this one because I had a couple and I'm like, nope, nope, not appropriate.
I get a fat belly. It'll be fun. I'll stand on the other side of the room and you can bounce Cheerios off my tummy.
Oh, 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 oh.
I knew it was coming. Okay, so personality.
Maybe I'll find the berries in your belly button too. My berries.
But I did find these.
Yum.
All right, enough.
They don't know what they don't know what we're talking about. They don't have time for our shenanigans.
We can share it afterwards. Okay.
Yeah, they come for our shenanigans.
Okay, so how do I expand more on my character's personality? Music. Music is a really great place to start. It's a really good way to evoke an emotion or a message that we have trouble putting into words. Sometimes the feel of a song can wrap up the whole general vibe of a character. Maybe that song has particular meaning to your character or symbolizes a certain event or emotion in that character's life. Going back to Raziel a moment, I knew that I wanted him to be a very carefree, very tolerant, just very kind to everybody he meets type of character. Doesn't worry about really where the direction of his life is going as long as it's going smoothly. So I thought that the song that best fit him was Jason Mraz's version of The Joker, Everything I Own. Just the whole feel of the song and the lyrics just seemed perfect for him. So I based a lot of Raziel's entire personality from that song and just branched it out. This doesn't happen for everybody. I know sometimes it's a little more difficult to, I don't know, I guess to really pinpoint that aspect of a character. Sometimes it can get a little personal. But that's one suggestion. I know I have a lot of fun coming up with characters through that method, and I think if you give it a try, you might too. Let's see. Another thing that you can do is to look toward pre-established characters to help get a feel for your own.
Like what I did.
Exactly. This is not cheating and this is not copying, so long as you are not blatantly ripping off somebody else's character. There's no problem with looking to somebody else's fursona or the color scheme of somebody's character to help grow your own wings and create your own. So, for instance, say you want your character to be more naive and gentle. You can look to Fluttershy as an example, or Chi from Chobits, or Rapunzel from Tangled. Those are great examples of characters with those aspects. Say you have a character that's kind of the strong and silent type. There's Arin from Final Fantasy X. Garnet from Steven Universe.
Fantasy, God.
I love Final Fantasy.
They need to stop making it.
I agree with this. I love it, but I do agree.
Anyways.
Say your character is more of the underdog type with some untapped potential waiting to explode into a hero. There's Scott Pilgrim is a great character.
Oh, rad.
Yeah, Emmett from the Lego movie, and Balto. Great versions of characters that everybody said, you can't do this crap, and they did it.
Mine's based off of Spaceman Spiff, which is from Calvin and Hobbes, so...
Well, there you go.
Yeah. It's my favorite comic.
Awesome.
It's my favorite comic.
Or maybe, your character is harboring some kind of dark side or inner turmoil. Diego from Ice Age, Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender, or Dexter from Dexter.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine a
Dexter
fursona
Morgan,
based
not
off of
Dexter's
Dexter?
Lab. That would be amazing.
That would be awesome. And then a comic to follow it?
And then a web series?
Oh, that would be so cool. Someone needs to make a Dexter web series. Call him Hexter.
There you go. So the last thing that we're going to go over, say you're still struggling with trying to figure out just everything about your character. There are character creation charts that you can download and fill out, and they ask you pretty much the basic questions that you see in a lot of people's character sheets: name, height, weight, orientation, such and such. These go much, 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 much further than that. Are you pulling that up, Space?
Oh my god.
Just waiting on you, man.
I'm sorry. Someone's like, Uncle Kage is like Stephen Fry. Like he's based off of Stephen Fry.
There you go.
I had to pull up the picture to see it. I'm like, oh my god, you're right. What am I pulling up?
The character creation chart.
Oh yeah, I was gonna pop this into link. I'm gonna pop this in the chat real quick, so that everyone can have access to it.
I have filled one of these out, and depending on which one you choose, it can take a long time, but it really does get you thinking outside of the box and get those gears turning, to really just put on those last finishing details and really refine your character.
It's really quite clever. And it's really detailed. I want to kind of fill this out.
It is very detailed.
Because then I feel like...
I do too.
I feel like if I can fill all this information, then I really could create a story based off of space. And I'd have enough information. I wouldn't have to just make it up on the whim. I'd already have... All I have to do is fill in the blank and I'm good.
Exactly. And you could change it whenever you want without any muss or fuss. Could you zoom in a little bit? So they can... Well, not just for me, but for them too.
Yes.
Just so they can see some of the questions on here or things that can be filled out.
Can you guys see it better? I've zoomed in. I can zoom in further if I need to.
Oh, I think that's fine.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay, before we continue, unplug and then plug back in. We do this because she has a Mac and sometimes her headphones go...
It's not the Mac, it's the port.
It is the Mac, which is connected to the Mac.
Well, at least mine doesn't die on me right before the show starts.
Wow.
You gonna hit low? I'm gonna be hitting back, man.
It's true. It's true. My hard drive is dying. That has nothing to do with the show, though. Let's get back on track here.
Okay.
Come on, Punya.
Okay, shush. Sorry, I didn't want to space out there for a minute.
Wow.
Okay, so here we have general info. Like I said, it has, it even goes as far as name origin. So name origin, nickname. Does your character like their nickname? Birth date, place of birth, ethnic background, religion, degree of religion practice, current address. Do they rent? Do they own? Am I filling out for a loan? I don't know.
Wow.
But yeah, it really just is very expansive. It goes into pets. Let's see.
This is great. I'm going to go ahead and go down to physical appearance because this is going to be really good for someone who's can take the notes that we have and then apply it to this.
Go do that and then go to speech and language.
Where's speech downwards?
It's just after physical appearance, I believe.
I'm there.
Or no. Oh yeah. Okay.
Does he talk fast, average, or slow? Accent or dialect?
Voice tone. It goes into voice tone. The tone of your character's voice.
I don't even know what the character my voice would be. Like,
You
I
know
would
what's fun?
I would kind of hope to like if I got a fursuit, I would want it to look so big and burly, and then have like this hi kind of like voice come out, and people are like, "What is that?"
Well, here's a fun question for you and for all of you viewers as well. If your character was animated, who would you want to be your voice actor?
Oh my God, maybe Gilbert Godfrey.
Oh
No, I know exactly who I'd want to do it. The guy who does Kronk from Emperor's New Groove.
Yes.
I would want him. That would be epic.
I don't know who I would get to do Punya's voice. I would really have to think about it.
Look, we got everyday behavior habits, finances, prudent, cautious, average, some debt, lives paycheck to paycheck, deep in debt, criminal activity. Dinner, does he eat at home? Does he go out a lot? I mean, this goes into like serious detail. And then it also goes into the past, like hometown. Was his or her childhood happy, troubled, dull? Earliest memory, saddest memory, happiest memory. I mean, it really goes into details. Family of origin, relationships with others.
This is I'm glad you brought this part up here because it makes me think of something else too, um, related to all this. If I am having trouble coming up with a personality for a character, I will start building a background from them and ask myself, well, what did they like to do as a child? Did they have a good relationship with their parents? That's usually a big one. If they don't, that can really be a key factor. Either don't or do, depending. But that can be a major key factor, building up to the personality of your character. Mavi, my character Mavi, is very much like that. She has a very overwhelming, haunted past that she's constantly running away from. But there's every once in a while, just some consequence comes up to bite her in the heels and takes her back a couple steps.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much it.
We can post these notes on a journal on FA. So if you guys would like a physical, like an actual copy where you can see it for yourself, we can post them on there so you guys can see it. And we'll also post all the links that we've gone through today so that you'll have those just in case you didn't get them in chat. But kind of like, should we just recap real quick?
Sure.
You recap since it was.
Man, I just closed my notes.
Fine, I'll recap. Okay.
Okay.
Gosh, I still have it open. So we talk about how to start. Like, where do you go with animals? Do you choose from existing animals, prehistoric animals, animals that already have been created by other fandoms? You talk about colors. What do you pick? Do you go with natural? Do you go with unnatural? Like, Space is a polar bear. Polar bears are white. He is not. He is black, blue, and a little bit of white, and has neon glowing all over him. That's completely unnatural, but it works for me. We talk about names, picking names to your character. We can go off of colors. You can go off of origin. You can go off of using thesaurus.com and figuring out what you want to do. Using fantasy names and creating random ones out there. Personalities, talking about, is yours an athletic person? Is yours a musical? Are they devious? Things like that. And that's just like basically the recap of the show. It's pretty simple.
Ultimately, whatever you decide, just make sure that it's something that you love and that you want to be.
Be who you want to be. So I think with that being said, we're going to move into Q&A. We'll do Q&A for a few minutes. When we're doing Q&A, you guys can ask us anything that has to do with the topic at hand, or you can ask us any question outside of the topic, as long as it's safe for work and it's not delving into our personal lives. If you do ask a question, make sure you put it in bold. All other traffic of chats, like side conversations, are in regular font. Questions are in bold. That way we can tell the difference between actual question and chat itself. Go ahead and do so now.
Okay. No, you do them. I've been talking a lot.
Fine, I'll do. I'll do. No, I was saying that to them.
Okay.
Okay. Music Bizzle or Biz
Weasel.
Buizel.
Weasel.
Buizel.
Like the Pokemon.
I don't know who that is. How should someone go about designing a character when they have a hard time drawing? That's pretty easy.
You can
Um,
you
you
can write.
Yeah, you can write it out because essentially when you first start getting your character like set in stone, who do you go to? You go to other artists to create your commission, your artwork. So they have to go off of what you're describing to them, and then they kind of give you like preliminary artwork to show you, okay, do you want it like this or do you want it like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, if you can't draw and you can't find somebody else to do it or don't want to commission somebody else to do it, then write it out. Um, the only drawback to that is that there are a handful of artists that do not like to work off of descriptions alone. I don't care either way. I can work with both. But it is a roadblock that you will occasionally run into if you commission work from people.
Well, that sucks because that means that's less profit they'll get because they'll just go somewhere else.
Yeah, it sucks for them, not for you.
Yeah. So, what artist would be like, I don't want to do that because it's all
I don't want to
descriptive?
read? Are you kidding me?
Seriously? You're not worth my money. I'm out of here. Greth asks a good question. What's the difference between an original character and a fursona?
Okay. I'm speaking this is my own opinion or my own views. Um, Nothing bad, but I like to separate the two as being um well, with fursonas, a fursona for me is the character that you use to represent yourself predominantly. Um, Whether it's in artwork or suiting or forums, however you represent yourself in the fandom, that's what I consider a fursona. Characters are more, um, they're characters that you create, that belong to you, but say they're part of another story that you do not want to um, involve your character, or you don't want other characters coming into it. So like that's actually how I started off with Mavi. I had a set story for her. I was never going to role play with her. I was never going to draw her with any other characters. She was only in this story with these characters, nothing else, and eventually that changed. But um, but I would never go to a convention as Mavi. I would never get a fursuit as Mavi. I just do not see myself as her. She is more of a character to me than an extension of myself, so to speak.
I have different characters that represent different emotions of me. So I have one called Nyx Tonix, who's a Black Panther that is based off of a darker um, culture in Celtic. So and he just I just have him there, but it's nothing I do with him. And then I have another one too, like adoptables, but those are about it. Um, Other than that, I just stick with my main persona. Let's see. My McGrant 141 asks, how often do you guys rethink your persona during your initial idea phase?
I don't think it ever really ends. I just have like a really long list with a bunch of messy notes and tabs and things. um,
I'm always thinking like,
I am too, and Punya and Mavi and Raziel are never too far from my thoughts. Like at least once a day, I'll think of something referring to them, or I'll hear a song and think of them. But I don't know. If I'm going to sit down and hash out a brand new character, it usually takes me several days to get down something basic enough that I can work with. And then everything from there is just kind of the fun growing part.
I think, in all honesty, I think you're always in the idea phase. Because once you've created your fursona, I mean, you'd have to be crazy to like not be the person who thinks, I wonder what else I can do with it. Because you're still thinking like, what if I change this about this person? I think you're always in the idea phase. Like at least I am, at least.
Mhm. And something else to consider too is with your personas being a representation of yourself, there's the possibility that they're going to change when you start to change.
My fursona is going over a rehaul right now. I've decided that I want my fursona to mimic the personality that I exhibit now. So I'm the person who wears glasses. I wear sweater vests. I always have my phone in my hand of some sort. I want my character to look just like me, and so now I'm redoing everything. He wears jeans, and you know, although he has the on symbol on his back, you probably won't see it because he's always wearing a shirt of some sort. So I'm always rethinking it, but now I think like this is like my final change that I'll probably make to space. And if I ever decide to make another change, I'll just be like, nope, I'll just make a new fursona altogether. Um, Sivnom asks, how do you feel about original characters made specifically for suits?
I don't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it either. I've thought about, do I want to like make a suit out of space dog or do I want to make one out of space bear? I don't know. I haven't decided. Bowie the Wolf asks, have you ever had problems with people copying your character? I think you can answer this one.
Yep. um Actually, I went over this in more detail in our art theft show that we did. I have run into problems with people tracing over my pictures of Punya. And I have had somebody take a photo of my fursuit head and print it out and wear it as a mask at FWA when I was not there.
I thought it was kind of cool.
I did too. I did too afterwards, but you know, I still sent the guy a message and I was like, this is really funny, but please don't do this again. Hold on a second.
Where's she going? Where'd she go? That was weird. What a weirdo. I can definitely answer Eat Out Eric's next question with actually some pictures that I have.
Okay. Sorry, I people walking in.
Crazy people.
Okay, but I'm all set.
Okay, we're moving on to the next question.
I can't remember if I left off in mid sentence with one.
I think you had left off mid sentence saying you messaged them to not do it again.
Oh, okay, yeah, just because I don't want them to misrepresent me and have somebody come up to me and be like, "Oh yeah, I totally saw you grab this person's butt," and I'd be like, "Oh, that wasn't me."
That was space.
That was space.
Like, wait, I don't remember being part of this. That was someone else. Eat at Eric's asks, oh shoot, there we go. How many species changes did you go through before your final fursona? I'm gonna pull up my artwork that I have. Do you mind just eyeballing the chat real quick? Because I'm gonna lose track.
I can try.
Oh my gosh, you can do it. Okay, so I'm just gonna click on this. Okay. So this was the original fursona of Space, the Space Dog Spiff, okay? He was a cybernetic husky wolf. So we're sticking with the dog family here. And then it went to color, Space Dog Spiff. And it had everything, it had all his colors going. But then Space Dog decided to change and went blue and went to bionic husky wolf, okay? And this is where the color change started to take over, and this is where I started to realize maybe this is not the character I really want to be. So then I changed it again and went to Space Bear Sparks, which is a polar bear husky, because I figured I'm going to create a hybrid that doesn't exist yet. So I did that, and then I played around with the colors, and I went from a, what was it? Like a Star Trek type of a furry to bionics to cybernetics to cyberpunk. So it went like in this interesting change, and you once again Sparks is changing again. So during that overhaul, I think I would have changed it. Let's see, space and then space, and then space, like 4 or 5 times before he actually made it to his final destination. So that's how many times I've changed mine. Just because I'm not like, there's just, you just feel like there's unfinished business and you feel like you need to change more of it. Okay, I got it. All right. Nameless noob. For someone who has multiple fursonas, how would you go about picking one to start fursuiting as?
Well, which one do you want to be more recognized as?
True, because the fandom's gonna identify you with that suit. So, like, I'm okay with certain people having multiple fursonas, like multiple fursuits, but I also think it's a pointless thing to do. Why have multiple fursuits when you have to start all over from scratch again? I have a friend. His name is Keat. He's also like, he's a good friend and he helps FurMedia a lot. But he has Keat as his fursuit, but he also has another one. I can't think of the name. Kix, I think, or Trax, and it's a red panda. And he was telling me it's interesting that when he was in Keat, everyone knew him, but when he was in Trax, no one knew who he was. And so he's like, it's kind of refreshing, but at the same time, it's different. And so it just depends. Like, do you want to have multiple fursuits off of different fursonas, or do you just want to have one? And if you do choose the one, make sure it's the one that you want to be recognized for, like Punya said.
Mm-hmm.
Ice Cat says, how should one go about introducing their Sona once they have it in fursuit form?
I guess just the same way that you've built up your character. I mean, you've already spent all this time, figuring out what you want to be and how you want them to look and how you want them to act. Now's your chance to be that star.
Let it shine, let it shine.
Good Lord.
It was going to happen. You know it was going to happen.
I would have no reserves. I would be way too excited. And I really was when I had Punya's suit. And I had no problem transitioning into her as soon as I jumped in.
I've queued up the next one. Greth wants to know if he has a good color scheme for his Sona.
Yes, right off the bat, and I will tell you why. Even though it's very muted, you have a secondary color scheme going on, so your colors are unified. Your skin looks gray, but there is a hint of green to it, just like on your horns and your chest, there's some orange, and of course the purple. There's all your secondaries, so everything is automatically blended together. And they're all in the right hues. So I would say yes.
There you go. That works. How far do you want to go with questions tonight?
How about another 15 minutes?
Okay. Let's see. Rebel Dragon says, opinions on characters whose colors hurt the eyes. I thought no one would ever ask this question. Because I wanted it to be asked.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like those who do like the whole neon thing, and it just is in your eyes, and it's like, good Lord, I could see you from space. Like, literally, I'm in space, I'm in my own space, and I can see you all the way down on planet Earth. That's how bright your color. You're a highlighter. How would you suggest someone toning it down? Like, even though like some bright colors look really good on fursonas, sometimes the bright colors they just kind of like intertwine into each other, and it looks really, it's hard to look at. Suggestions? I'm asking you.
If it's already made into a suit, there's really nothing you can do because more than likely this person has put a couple grand into it already. And it's kind of a slap of the face if you go in up to them and say, hey, your $2,500 suit is too bright.
Can you turn off the lights, please? What if it was those? Oh, how cool would this be? Oh my god, how cool would this be? Okay, so it's a waterproof suit, right? How cool would it be if like it was one of those micro machine cars where you throw hot water on it and it changes colors? So like you threw a water balloon at a fursuit and then there was like a splatter of color change on their fursuit. How cool would that be?
That'd be pretty awesome.
That would be really rad. I would be okay with this.
So it's a little bit of a problem in suit, not so much drawn out. I have received references that were sickeningly bright, but because I have some idea of color theory and what works together, I was still able to use those bright colors, but make them more unified to create a less visually straining character or rendition, I should say, of that character. So yeah, if it's in on a suit, there's really nothing you can do. Um, Drawn out, just be tactful, don't be mean. Try to think of a nice way to make a suggestion and not a demand.
Oh crap, I lost it. Okay. Ivy Earth asks, what do you consider the bare minimum of colors for a suit?
Mm, hard to say. Hard to say. Reason being is that you can still have a bunch of colors and still have it look good. Um, I don't feel it's my place to really put a limit on that, because I don't want to stifle someone's creativity. Just be aware of how much you're doing, I should say.
Oh my god, people, stop chatting for a second. I'm trying to copy a link. Good lord. Got it.
Oh,
I got
okay.
it. I got it. Okay.
Real quick here too. I'm going to drop a link to a show that we did. Oh gosh, how long ago was that? Last year, I believe. This is a show that we did on designing your fursona, which I guess would be a follow-up to this one. Um, but I go over a lot about
Colors.
color theory, and what matches, and color schemes that you can use, and some really good sites that you can pull up instant color swatches or combinations of colors that you can use. And I hope that link works.
Okay, so the picture you see here on your screen, this is actually from our social media guru, Icy. And she shows us, this is actually quite cool. In 2000, this is what her fursona looked like. And then you see in 2006, and then you see in multiple years, 2007, another 2007, and then 2010. And now her fursona from 2014 actually looks pretty good. So you can see like the transition of how many times she's changed her fursona over the years. This is kind of going over that question that was asked, how many times have you changed your fursona? This is a great example right here.
Hmm. Punya for me hasn't really changed, but my art style has changed. So looking back on the pictures that I first drew of her, I mean, she to me she looks like a different character, um, and her personality has changed too. But I've never like seriously reworked her or drastically changed her in any way visually.
I love this question.
Hmm.
This is a great question. Okay, Music Buizel asks, how colorful can someone go before they are considered a sparkle fur? I have crazy ideas, but I feel like I should hold back sometimes, and sometimes sparkle furs aren't super colorful. Thoughts? They're colorful on the inside, and that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Like me, I'm a sparkle fur, and a diva fur, and a dark fur, and all those other things. So,
I'll be honest, I don't know much about sparkle furs or sparkle dogs. I've seen them everywhere, but I've never really researched them. So I
oh,
can't I can't really say how much is too much because every time I see them, they're like an explosion in my eyeballs. So
the only way
I
I,
like them. I like them, but I don't feel like I can answer that question.
the only reason I consider myself to be a sparkle fur is usually when I go to fur meets or when I go to a fur convention, I dazzle my hair and my face and my body in sparkles. So then when I hit the dance floor, I am the disco ball and I am that center of attention right then and there. That's the only reason. Or someone's like, "You got shot out of a sparkle cannon," and I'm like, "Yes, I did."
Well, all right.
But all right, all right. Scrolling down. He also asks just a general question. What would be a safe age to go to cons without parents? I think 18 would be the safe age.
Well, that's the legal age.
I know, but it's also a safe age.
That is true.
It's it's a safe age for everyone because um
Everybody's legal
yeah, everyone's
except
legal
for
and
alcohol.
yeah, but like if you go and you're 16, there's certain areas that you can't go into because, those are 18 plus. But it also makes it easier. Like don't just think like yourself alone like, okay, I'm 16, I really want to go to a convention. Think about how everyone else around you has to react because overall, cons we should act normal, but we don't. And some people kind of have their antics and they do something that might be inappropriate, especially if a 16-year-old's in presence and they can get in trouble for it. Or I just think it's safe. I'll just say it's safe for everyone to be of 18. 18 in the U.S. is the proper age. I don't know what the age is in other countries that would be considered a safe age.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I agree with you there. Um, I would say, I would say 16, just because I would expect there to be some kind of established common sense by this point.
One would hope, unless they're to figure themselves out,
But yeah,
then
if well, like you said, like Space said, if you're going to a convention and you're underage, there's going to be areas where you're not going to that are not going to be accessible to you. Um, this won't spoil your convention experience, but um, like after a certain time of day, there's going to be nothing for you to do.
yeah.
So if you're underage, I don't know. Honestly,
I also extend
I
this
don't
not
think
to
I
just
don't.
cons though.
Yes.
I extend this further to like meets and online. I've had a lot of people who watch FurMedia come and try to friend me on Facebook, and I feel like such a d bag for doing this. But I have a rule: if you're below 18, I can't friend you, and I do that for a reason because in the United States, in some states it's okay, but like for the most part, um, I just worry. Like, what if you pop a question? What if you say something? What if I say something that's offending and then someone else sees it? Then I could be in trouble. So it's just safer for me to have a friend who is 18 years or older, especially in the United States. Is if you're outside of the United States, like in a different country, then I'll let it slide, maybe like 16 or 17. But if you're in the United States, I just do a flat out no, you have to be 18 to be my friend. I'm really sorry, but that's just the case right there because it's safer for me to interact with you that way. Same with meets, unless you've got a parent, bring a parent along. Some rules, there are rules out there you have to bring a parent. And then for, like you said, conventions, there's just nothing to do at a certain time. Our questions are dwindling, which is not a bad thing. Rebel Dragon asks, about bright colors, what do you think of this one? Oh, I probably should pull that link up. That might be a good idea. Let's see.
That's fine.
Ooh, I like this. Oh, he's got a cupcake.
Sweet cup and cakes.
Oh my god, this reminds me of Space Muffin, the flying space muffin that I have. This is adorbs. I think this works out perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Except for that red dot right there on the cupcake. But other than that, it looks good.
Agreed.
So if she's silent, that means that's a good thing because she's definitely not talking. um, let's see. We got another link here. Oh, see, now everyone's like, do you like this? Do you like that? Are you looking at chat?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, let's see. Oh,
7.
here. I can
Is
just...
it distracting? No, it is not distracting.
Okay, there's this one.
It kind of looks like... It makes me think that there's like an iridescent sheen going on. I think that's pretty cool.
It looks like an aquamarine or an aquan animal. Kind of cool. Let's see. What's the other ones here? Question for space. Do you like the dodo shark? I don't know what the dodo shark is.
We were talking about dodo sharks earlier.
Dodo birds? Did he actually draw one? I can't link it because people keep freaking linking. Hold on one second. De-stress your breasts, people, and let me do this. God. Let's see. Oh my god, they actually did draw it. Oh my god, that's awesome.
Look at its name. I love it.
I am downloading this. You have officially... We're going to favorite this.
I'm faving it too.
We're adding this to our favorites. I'm also going to re-upload that and then save that as our featured submission right there. Because that is just great. That is probably one of the coolest gift arts I've seen so far. Thank you for doing that. Kella Kata Chop the Dodo Shark.
Like a tack chop.
Almost glorious.
Calico chop.
That's rad. That was just great. There was another one in here. Okay, we'll go to this link and then we'll go to the next question here. Monte asks, getting on the bandwagon, what about this ref? So...
There is nothing wrong visually with this ref.
Obviously, because... Oh, wait, did you already pull it up?
Yes, I'm looking at it.
I like it. I like
I
the
do too.
seriousness of it. I'd like to see more of it. I'd like to see more artwork of this be done.
Okay, this is a really good example of something you can do if you feel like your character's colors are too boring or too plain, so to speak. Like on this character, we have this nice dark blue gray, light blue gray, white, and black, obviously natural colors. But then to just make them pop out a little more, there are these little notes of bright green, which automatically brings that out as an original character. It breaks that normality.
Yeah, I'd like that. There's a question for you in the chat. Did you already see it?
I did not. Here we go.
I'll just let you silently read that question. And I think we'll end the questions there, so no more questions because we have hit our question limit. Oh, wait.
Yes.
Okay, hold on.
Hold on, I'm going to answer that question. Yes, you can either, if you can't get a hold of me through Facebook or Twitter, you can send me a note on FA. And I will put a link to my account where you can find me.
I'll answer Tranquil Tiger's question, and then we'll go ahead and just tidy up the show. Question for Space. That's me, obviously. I don't know why I said that. What's your opinion on Fursonas with excessive amount of superpowers and abilities? I want to say that person has a godlike complex. because they have to be better than everyone else. I don't think you need excessive powers. I mean, I think if space were to have powers, it'd be like time travel and levitation. That would be it. Because I could do so many things with that.
I feel reserved answering this question because right away my brain goes and analyzes it psychologically. So I could tell you why I think they have an overabundance of powers, but I may not be correct.
Godsonas. What the heck is a Mary Sue's? A Mary Sue's. That I'm like, because I said something about God complex, and someone said Godsonas, Mary Sue's, and then said no, they're called Mary Sue's. I have no idea what a Mary Sue is, so I guess I'll have to Google that later.
Gary Stew, if you're male. Um, um, Punya actually has a little bit of magic in her.
No one cares.
No, you will now.
Oh. You will listen.
Um, but she has a little magic, but it's not something she can control. It's not something she's even really aware of, but it makes itself known when it's meant to.
Yeah. Well, I think that about wraps up our show this evening. Um, we thank you guys for tuning in, watching. Next week's show is on furry socialites. So we're talking about the social furs, obviously. And we'll go into more details on that one. We'll put a description up on Facebook. But you can see future events for Facebook or shows on Facebook if you want to. And we're getting more active on FA, so we'll update on FA as well, what the next show is going to be and what we're going to talk about. And we'll ask you to do things and so forth. But you'll be able to watch the replay here probably in the next few hours on YouTube of this show, just in case you missed it or you're having internet connections, whatever issues. But we thank you guys for watching every week. We do appreciate it. And we'll see you guys online.
Bye bye.
That's it. Just bye-bye.
Bye bye. I love you.
Oh, that works. Oh, wait. That didn't... that didn't... I meant to end the... Hold on. Here we go.